So, today I want to talk about powerful courageousness. Sometimes we have to dig deep and find that courage. But how do we do that? How do we practice to expand ourselves and to expand the gifts you have to give to the world? Because that is the truest part of your authentic self. Today is a new day. I am Nikki G, your host. Welcome to the Lone Doctrine, a safe space to bridge the gap between your authentic self and your mental health. We are your food for thought exploration station in order to make today better than yesterday. Hello and welcome back to another month of the Lone Doctrine. I am so excited to have you here, and I'm so excited to keep exploring what brings us into a place of better mental health. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, our mental health is just as important, if not arguably more important than our physical health, because everything is interconnected. So this month I wanted to keep going on the idea of finding our true selves and what identity is and why that's important. But the inner workings of that is also finding the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to really express who we are in a world that's sometimes expecting us to be something or someone different. I am a big advocate for practicing these things. Sometimes when we hear them in concept or we listen to things like podcasts or read books, that's one step of the staircase. But what completes your journey is just the daily practice of things like your betterment, like growing, like learning how to cope with all these different emotions that every single human being experiences. So in that, we're going to talk about strength and how we build up that courage to keep expressing and keep living through our authentic self. Now, I love exploring because my hand is raised. I do not know everything. And I think there are great seeds to be planted all over the world. And the beauty is we're all going to hear things and see things and absorb things differently. So there may be times in your life where something's like, whoa, that's a huge epiphany. But then there are other times where it just goes one ear and out the other. But that's okay because everything is connected. And we may need to hear what we need to hear in that moment in time, which may be relevant later and may not have been relevant a month before. But as we explore, I want to explore with you something that I really enjoy, and that's the Zen Habits. This guy has a lot of great work on constant personal development. And one of the big reasons I like Zen Habits is because it gives practical tips on how to start practicing these things. So it's not just explaining about what things are and why we experience them, but it's also allowing us to have very tangible and practical tools, which I try to use in my everyday life to better ourselves in all of these different aspects. To give you those seeds of greatness and to give you those seeds in order to move towards being more able to fill your cup. Whether you know it or not, there's always something to learn along the way because we experience many different chapters in our lives. And I'll say firsthand, I know that I've had to build my coping skills as I've gone through things like grief and loss and change of careers and losing friends and coming out as gay and doing all these things, even just getting married. Something that was supposed to be the most grandiose and happiest day of my life brought a lot of anxiety because I grew up in a place where being gay wasn't fully accepted. So all of these things, however you identify, we all go through these things where we need those skills to help us push forward. So today I want to talk about powerful courageousness. Sometimes we have to dig deep and find that courage. But how do we do that? How do we practice to expand ourselves and to expand the gifts you have to give to the world? because that is the truest part of your authentic self. So let me share this thing I found on Zen Habits. Here we go. Imagine a woman who has a powerful gift to give to the world, a song to sing that will lift others up. But she only lets herself give that gift when the sun is shining and she's happy and the moon is in perfect alignment with Jupiter. The world would be robbed of her song. Her narrow range of when she's willing to offer her gift would be a devastating loss to those she serves. Imagine a man who serves everyone around him deeply, so powerfully that they are filled with their own sense of purpose. But he only does this when he's in the right mood, when he's not distracted by online articles, when he's not tired or lonely, when he's not criticized by those around him, and when his house and office are perfectly clean. Those he fills with a sense of their own purpose would be less filled. Those he gives love to would be deprived because he has such a narrow range of when he's willing to push himself to offer his gift to others. This is how most of us live our lives, shrinking from the challenge of focusing on the purpose-filled work because we're tired or sad or anxious or stressed, because we're allowing ourselves to be distracted and pulled in 1,000 different directions. This is our opportunity for growth. This is our opportunity to really let our true self shine. When you are not feeling it and are procrastinating on focusing on your purpose or on your true self, this is a time to just notice how you feel. Notice that you're shrinking away because you aren't in that perfect place or perfect mood or perfect environment or perfect family or perfect friends. And then stop and try to expand yourself. You expand yourself by 1, opening up your heart in the middle of pain or stress and allowing yourself to truly, fully feel. This is something that in most countries that we're taught the opposite to do. When we're feeling sad, don't cry, man up, be better. Girls don't cry, boys don't cry, don't have feelings. It's denying us the beauty of being human, of being this intelligent being that will experience a huge spectrum of emotions. So we need to expand our knowledge and expand our thought in realizing that when we have these feelings, we want to truly feel them. We don't want to shrink away, but we want to find the courage to be incredibly present with whatever you're feeling. Feeling love for your experience, for whatever it's causing you, stress or pain, and not rejecting it. Seeing it as your teacher, your beautiful practice ground for betterment. Seeing it as an opportunity, not a detriment to your well-being. We have to have the contrast. If we did not have sadness, we would not know what happiness was. Now, I'm not saying that we always want to be experiencing sadness and we want to pitch a tent and just be sad all the time, but we want to recognize the contrast in order to give us a better perspective and a better appreciation for happiness, for better things, for the positive pieces of life. Because we want to remind ourselves of the gift that you offer the world by being you. Reminding yourself of your purpose and bringing that open heart into the world. Or how about this? Pushing yourself into the discomfort of focusing on that purpose, even if you're feeling sad or hurt or frustrated or distracted. Pushing yourself into the discomfort of who you are, if it is uncomfortable, of saying no to all the distractions and busy work and just doing what you need to do to offer your gift, your true self. This is your challenge. This is everyone's challenge in every moment. Expand your range by not needing conditions to be perfect. Not needing everything to be in order, not needing to have all your messages responded to, all your inboxes and social media checked, or even validation on social media, all the articles you can read, all the ways you could do it this way, that way, should I do this, should I not do this, all the crumbs swept up before you dive into your purpose. Expand your range by not allowing yourself to shrink. It's like putting yourself in Arctic conditions, in desert conditions, and practicing your art despite the unhappiness. In fact, you use the unhappiness and chaos to offer your gift. You take that stress and pain and you turn it into love. You turn it into something better. You change that channel and you change the frequency. That brilliance is a part of your gift. The ability to practice that and do that will lead you forward at all times, even when you are experiencing hardships, even when you are experiencing fear and anxiety. That is an opportunity. That is not a backstep. It's an opportunity for awareness on how we're going to move forward and how we can better have the skills in order to do so in a healthy way. So let's look at some specific practices for expanding your range of conditions so that you are no longer robbing the world of what you have to offer. To start with, I just want you to try these things just once a day. Practice it once a day. Set yourself some purpose-filled work to do. Put it on your to-do list. Do it right before bed. Do it for the first thing you do to wake up in the morning. And I know you might be saying, I don't have time. But guess what? If and when you keep a journal of your daily practices, I bet you could find time. And we have done that in the past. And I encourage you to go back to those episodes and talking about when we're always in this stress mode and we always feel like we don't have time and we always find ourselves making excuses, especially when it comes to our own betterment. I should have done that. I should have exercised. I should have eaten better. I don't have time. I should have called so-and-so. When you sit down with that daily journal, and I've done this as well, you'll see just how much time you're wasting. And I say that wholeheartedly in saying that I had the realization myself of all the time I was wasting, and it was an epiphany in realizing, wow, all the stuff I've been stressing out about, I have so much time to do now. And when we're in that stress mode, we hold that stress throughout our daily lives, and we're no longer present in the things that are important because we're so worried about checking our email, checking our social media, watching that next TV show, binging and realizing 4 hours have gone by. Whatever it may be, find the culprit in your day-to-day, take that away, and put in something positive. Put in something like the things we're about to talk about. Number 1, here's something you can practice. Notice what you're feeling. Are you tired? Are you stressed, frustrated, angry, sad, lonely, distracted, hurt, anxious, happy? Whatever it is, even in this moment right now, how are you feeling? Then fully feel it. Forget about everything else for 30 seconds and just be fully present with whatever you're feeling. Not the narrative in your head about what you're feeling, but the actual physical feeling in your chest, in your stomach, in your head, and in your body. Be fully present. Sometimes we can be tense. Sometimes we can be super relaxed. But I want you to try and be present. And if you're driving, drive safely, but also try and be present. And how about this? Open your heart to that feeling. Love it. Don't reject it. Don't even wish it would go away or try to get rid of it. Just love it. Recognize it. And when I say love it, it's like, how can we love feeling like, well, the love we can find is the cause, the work stressing you out, the person who criticized you, the unhappy situation in your life. That is our mind telling us what are the things that need to be addressed and how can we get to a more positive and healthy place. Love it as if it were the most beautiful thing on earth, which it is. Because if we didn't have the ability to problem solve and to better our lives, we would be stuck in hardships and sadness and depression always. We all have the ability to move forward, but it's about practicing these things and building these skills, learning them, being open to them, and realizing that your mental health is really, Really important. And let's go over 2 other things you can do. Open your heart in the middle of the discomfort and then take the first step in doing your work. Do the first small action, the tiniest movement in the middle of these crazy conditions. See it as training your mind and training your heart. You could even call it courage training. Hold your heart open as you do it, keeping in mind of who you're serving. And sometimes the person you're serving the most is you. And something to think about as you're going through all these things is not letting your loved ones, the people around you down, and the world. We really never know how far our ripple effect will reach. And I wish we could all see it, because something that you may feel is insignificant could change someone's world. Hold that in your heart, knowing that with each good choice and having good character and holding integrity, being honest, being respectful, being patient, being courageous, having the strength and the courage and the wisdom will cause this energy field around you and will become contagious to others. And then they will express that to others, and those people express it to others, and others, and others, and others, and others, and others. It keeps going on. The unfortunate thing is that we always don't really trust it. What am I doing? Is this really making any difference? I don't know. Is me being here with you today making a difference? I hope so, but I don't know. But I have to trust that because I have good in my heart, because I have this pull to be with people who want to make life better, that somewhere, somehow, someone is being affected in a positive way. And I hope that's you, because I believe you're here for a reason. So I want you to take these things and just practice them every day. See how your range grows. See how much you can put in there and see how many things you can start adding yourself. See your gift grow out into the world. Sing your song powerfully and courageously, lifting up every soul around you. Then bow in gratitude for your practice. And most importantly, keep fighting the good fight.